The cry that never died. From Mozambique to Nigerian campuses. Let me take you back to a time when a simple phrase carried the weight of an entire people's struggle. It started in Mozambique during their fight for independence from the colonial rule. There was a leader named Samora Machel, leading a movement called FRELIMO. In the middle of hardship, war, and uncertainty, he gave the people something to hold on to. A phrase. Aluta Continua. It means the struggle continues. Now think about that for a moment. Not the struggle is over, not we are free already, but the struggle continues. It's a reminder that freedom doesn't come easy, and even after victory, there is still work to be done. When Mozambique finally gained independence in 1975, Machel became president. But even then, he didn't drop the phrase, he kept using it, almost telling his people, this is just the beginning. Till today, if you walk through Maputo, you will still see those words on walls. Over time, the full version became Aluta Continua, Victoria, etc., meaning the struggle continues, victory is certain. The same phrase didn't stay in Mozambique. It traveled, it crossed borders, entered moments, and eventually found its way into Nigeria. Among Nigerian students, especially through the National Union of Nigerian Students, it became more than just words. It became a lifestyle. On campuses, protests are not just protests anymore. They are called Aluta. When you hear the chants, Aluta Continua, Victoria, etc., it's call and response, energy, unity, and belief. Some student leaders jokingly refer to their moment as Aluta Republic. Some will even call themselves Aluta Comrade or Aluta Machine Gun. It may sound playful, but behind it is something serious, a deep tradition of standing up for rights. But this didn't just happen randomly. There is a story behind it. Let me bring you to 1978. At that time, the country was under military rule led by General Segun Okeowo. The economy was struggling, and the government decided to increase the cost of feeding and accommodation in universities. Now, imagine being a student from a struggling family, and suddenly your education becomes even harder to afford. Just the same thing we are going through at Reverend Father Moses. The policy was announced by Ahmed Ali, and that name quickly became the center of anger. Students were not having it. The National Union of Nigerian Students, led by Segun Okeowo, stepped forward. They demanded that the government reverse the decision. But when nothing changed, they made a bold move. They called for a nationwide protest. And just like that, campuses came alive. From the University of Lagos to Ahmadu Bello University, from Ibadan to Osuka, students came together. They marched, boycotted lectures, they raised their voices, and one slogan took over everything: Ali must go. It wasn't just about one man anymore. It was a symbol of frustration against unfair policies, poor leadership, and being ignored. But then the situation changed. The government responded with force. Soldiers and police were sent in. Students were arrested, and sadly, some students lost their lives. Up to today, no one can tell exactly how many students died. After that, things got even tougher. The National Union of Nigerian Students was banned. Universities were shut down. Leaders including Segun Okeowo were expelled and blacklisted. The protest was crushed, at least on the surface. Even though the movement was stopped, the spirit behind it never died. That moment became a turning point. It showed that Nigerian students were not just there to attend lectures. They could stand up, speak out, and challenge power. That is where Aluta truly took roots. When you hear Aluta Continua today, it's not just a chant, it's history, sacrifice, and resistance. It connects Mozambique fight for independence to Nigerian students fighting for their rights. It reminds you that every generation has its own struggle, and more importantly, change doesn't come from silence. So when the chant goes on, Aluta Continua, Victoria, etc., it's not just noise, it's a message. The struggle continues, and if the people keep pushing, victory will surely come.